Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello to all viewers. Today we would like to present about intrusion detection system, which is IDS. My name is Siti Fazrin binti Abdul Rashid, and my partners El Munira binti Manab prepare this presentation for Dr. Fakarahani binti Mama Ali. Introduction to IDS. IDS is a type of security software designed to automatically alert administrators when someone or something is trying to compromise information system through malicious activities or through security policy violations. They accomplish this by collecting information from a variety of systems and network sources and then analyzing the information for possible security problems. History of IDS. In 1980, Computer Security Threat Monitoring and Surveillance by James Anderson. In 1983, SRI International by Dr. Dorothy Denning in a government project were introduced. In 1989, Word of an ID introduced by UC Davis Todd Herbelin. And in 1999, Presidential Decision Directives presented pioneer Federal Intrusion Detection Network to protect national infrastructure. Functions of IDS: monitoring and analyzing both user and system activities, analyzing system configurations and vulnerabilities, assessing system and file integrity, ability to recognize patterns typically of attacks, analysis of abnormal activity patterns, and tracking user policy violations.
Purpose of IDS to help computer system on how to deal with attacks and collecting information from several different sources within the computer system and networks and compare this information with pre-existing patterns of discrimination as to whether there are attackers or weaknesses. There are two types of IDS, that is a network-based IDS and host-based IDS. A network-based IDS has visibility only into the traffic crossing the network link it is monitoring and typically has no idea of what is happening on individual systems. A host-based IDS is concerned only with activity on an individual system and usually has no visibility into the activity on the network or system around it. Host-based IDS is a system that monitors a computer system on which it is installed to detect an intrusion or misuse and respond by logging the activity and notify the design authority. A host-based IDS operates in real time looking for activity as it occurs, batch mode looking for activity on a periodic basis. They may be self-contained, but many of the newer commercial products have been designed to report to and be managed by a central system. Host-based systems use local system resources to operate. Host-based intrusion detection system focus on the log file or audit trail from the local operating system. The IDS look for hostile action or misuse activities such as login at odd hours, login authentication failures, adding new user accounts, modification or access of critical system files, modification or removal of binary files, starting or stopping process, privilege escalations, and using certain programs. Host-based advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: operating system specific, more detailed signature, reduced false positive rates, examination of data after description, application specific, alarm may impact determination of a specific system. Disadvantages: an IDS has a process on every system watch. An IDS has a high cost of ownership, uses local system resources. An IDS has a focused view and cannot relate to activity around it, and a local log IDS may be compromised or disabled.
Network-based IDS is used to monitor and analyze network traffic to protect a system from network-based threats, reads all inbound packets, and searches for any suspicious patterns. When threats are discovered, based on its severity, the system can take actions such as notifying administrators or barring the source IP address from accessing the network. Network-based IDS focus on network traffic. It embeds traveling through cable interconnecting the system. A network IDS examines network traffic as it passes by. It must be able to analyze traffic by protocol types, amount, source, destination, content, and traffic already seen. The analysis must happen quickly. A network-based IDS looks for activity that represent hostile actions or misuse, such as denial of service attacks, vulnerability scanning, Trojan virus or worms, tunneling, brute force attacks, and etc. Network-based advantages and disadvantages. For advantages, it takes fewer systems to provide IDS coverage. Deployment, maintenance, and upgrade costs are usually lower. A network-based IDS has visibility into all network traffic and can correlate attacks among multiple systems. For disadvantages, it is ineffective when traffic is encrypted. It cannot see traffic that does not cross it. It must be able to handle high volume of traffic, and it does not know about activity on the host themselves. Host-based IDS versus network-based IDS. For host-based, it differs from network-based intrusion detection. The entire process is conducted on the host itself. These systems are deployed locally on each host computer and monitor only the host on which is installed. Operate by monitoring changes to a number of variables on the host system. For network-based, known as a system, installed on a network and act like a sniffer, capturing and decoding packets to pass through his network segment, and can monitor an entire network segment and can be rapidly deployed.
IDS detection method. There are two types of IDS detection. First is signature detection and second anomaly detection. For signature detection, extract some features from the vast amount of network data and compare these features with known attack signature to find possible similarity and detect intrusion. For anomaly detection, it finds attack by identifying unusual behavior that occurs on a host or network. Limitation of IDS. The problem include the lack of sufficient integration with other IT security tools and sophisticated network administration systems, the inability of IDS to access and visualize enterprise-level threats, and the inability of organizations to investigate the large number of the alarms that can be generated by hundreds or thousands of IDS sensors. IDS2 honeypot and padded cell system. The purpose of the honeypot is to divert an attacker from accessing critical system, collect information about the attacker activity, and encourage the attacker to stay on the system long enough for administrator to respond to the intrusion. The advantages: attacker can be diverted to system target and they cannot damage. Administrator can be given time to decide how to respond to an attacker. An attacker action can be monitored easily and result used to improve the system protection. The disadvantages is a high level of expertise is needed for administrator and security manager to use the system, and legal implications using such mechanism are not well defined. Vulnerability assessment tools determine when a network or host is vulnerable to known attacks. Two varieties, that is passive and active. Passive can scan the host on which they reside for the presence of insecure configuration, software versions known to contain exploitable flaws, and weak password. And active reside on a single host and scan a networking looking for vulnerable hosts, send a variety of network package at target host, and determine the server and operating system software on each host.
Case study at Cisco Company describes Cisco IT internal solution deployment of an intrusion detection system within the Cisco Global Network, a leading-edge enterprise environment that is one of the largest and most complete in the world. The Cisco Information Security team deployed Cisco IDS 4230 sensors in 2001. However, the IDS 4230 sensors have performance and management limitations. Cisco IDF 4230 sensor noticed an unusually sharp rise in suspicious traffic within the first few minutes, and within an hour, enforcement and IT engineers were taking immediate steps. The first steps are identify the type of threat based on the large number of alerts, customize IDS signature based on the virus activity, and update the IDS sensor signature file. Temporarily disconnecting network access to large and vulnerable targets, temporarily blocking possible virus traffic, using network-based application recognitions, deploying new cache engine rules on outbound traffic, and alert Cisco employees of the problem and of the temporary block put in place.
Gathering infected server ID from IDS and other sources and temporary partitioning host and network to isolate infected server, developing tool to clean infected server, supporting other Cisco networking groups in developing workarounds, help develop tool to identify infected or vulnerable hosts and automatically pushing upgrades and patch to vulnerable code. Without the several hour advance notice that IDS provides Cisco, it likely many of the affected server within the Cisco would have been overwhelmed, business would have been far more seriously affected, and Cisco would have been the source of far more infection for other internet connected business and users. Solution replace IDS 423 OS with IDS 425 OS to support traffic up to 500 megabit per second within the larger internet DMZs, allow to remove the traffic sectionalization and switch spanning associated with those smaller IDS sensor, simplify the architecture, allow IDS sensor to read all network traffic for the first time for more comprehensive threat response, and add the flag alert signature to the IDS.
The lesson learned from the case study: an IDS is useless without a dedicated staff of network knowledgeable engineers to manage the system, tune the signature sets, monitor the alerts every day for possible attacks, make the call that an attack is taking place, and respond quickly and appropriately. An alarm system is useless if no one responds to a real attack or if the response is too slow or in the wrong directions. For the conclusions, IDS are becoming the logical next step for many organizations after deploying firewall technology at the network perimeter. IDS can offer protection from external users and internet attackers where the traffic doesn't go past the firewall at all.
Hi all, I'm Ellie.
I'm Fazreen.
That's all from our presentation about IDS.
Hope you guys enjoy watching our videos and learn something from these presentations. That's all from us. Thank you.